moisture? Is that what it's biosphere, I think. No, bubbles of water know a lot of stuff. Anyway, I'm feeling you guys. I love that you're doing what you're doing. I'm excited to play. And being a storyteller, some night will light the fire. Can you feel it? No sense in being ordinary. And by the way, as I'm looking at all the faces that are hardly moving or anything, when we're in our men's group, we have a couple of little things we do. Like when you're in with an idea, everybody, bang, so everybody can feel the group. Or is nothing wrong with nodding your head, or smiling, so we can bring some animation to the group, and things like that. I'm feeling excited. I really got my lighting right, didn't I?
You look magnificent.
Beautiful.
Not like George Custer.
It's all about the lighting.
Yes, it always is. 60%.
Anyway. So I'd like to kind of interweave with you introducing how this came to be. Last Thursday, we were on a call, and the theme was living with an open heart. And afterwards, I signed off, and I went online and somehow got right to Jim's page and found this amazing drawing of him he drew it, and it's with a big heart, and underneath it had this kind of report about something that had happened to you within the last couple of weeks. And then can you tell a little about it?
Well, I'm 77, and in a week I've had my heart broken open 3 times. And glad for every one of those occasions, I must say. Happy to speak about them, in some detail. But, I started off in Vietnam with the biggest burden I ever carried, and I've been carrying it almost ever since. I've had one chance to spit it out, so to speak, which is another word for sort of psychic release. Crying like hell, screaming like hell, all at the same time. And behind all of that, actually feeling grateful for being able to do it, It's like, it's constipated until you do, So then I had a nephew die last week. Very strange. He left a sports bar on Sunday, and they didn't know where he went till Thursday. They found him off the road in his pickup truck, dead. And that got me to wailing. Not much, but more. And there have been a couple of other things that have come up recently, but I just think if my generation had more chance to open up, dig deep, and tell the truth, I wouldn't be 77 before I got to spit it out, Yeah. Thanks for the laughter, by the way. Yeah. So I can talk more about that and help with an exercise or two, and I don't know. I'm going to flip it back to you, Tom. So,
okay.
What do you want these guys to know about me?
Well,
start with a check-in.
Okay. This is Jim Channon, sometimes called the Colonel. Sitting in Hawaii this time, looking across those fuzzy trees into a tall volcano. I am, as I said, slightly overwhelmed by the fact that as each one of you spoke, I felt your heart also. So the inner chest here is filling as I am presencing myself with this group of friends, new friends. Mm. I'm really happy to know you all, and love the fact that you invited me here, and I think we can. I think we can break some ground.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. And it's just a real honor for me. I couldn't believe what was happening really on Thursday when I saw that picture of the open heart. I commented, Jim commented back. All of a sudden he was commenting on my video. And then on Thursday when Richard and I and Michael were in another men's group, we started texting back and forth. And I'm like, oh, and by the way, everyone in that group checked in with amazing stuff, and I was last, and I didn't have anything. So I made up that I said I was out at work today, and I ran 100 yards, and I started flapping, and I got airborne for like 100 yards. I was flying because I wanted to match their check-ins, and I said, no, that didn't happen. And then I started actually texting with Jim. I'm like, yeah, I text with Jim. That's what I do. That's what happens. And I was amazed. And then I invited him on here, and here he is. And we're going to do, in a few minutes, we're going to do a process that Jim kind of came to when we were talking. And it's like, I think it cuts right to the heart of most of what we talk about on all these groups. Yeah. So it's going to be great. Where I came to know Jim, I think Michael was on that shift initiation or shift network thing, and I came to know Jim as just an amazing guy. I watched the movie Men Who Stare at Goats, and Jeff Bridges' character and basically the inspiration for the movie was Jim. And just the idea that in the 70s when he was a colonel, the Army asked him to, this is the way I tell the story, go to California, go around the world and learn all the esoteric tricks and practices you can learn, and then bring them back into the Army and, help us. and that's just fantastic. And then basically he never stopped. He just kept doing that forever.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And a personal note, I learned of him years ago, and I told, with my ex-girlfriend, I was talking to her mother, and I said, yeah, there's this guy, Jim Channon. He's amazing. She's like, I can't be the same Jim Channon I went to University of Kentucky with in 1950 what?
61.
61?
Yeah.
She said, it can't be the same one because this guy was one of the best dancers at the Friday night dance every time. And I'm like, well, he was a colonel, and then we triangulated. It had to be him, and it was. He's an outstanding dancer.
Oh, he never hit.
They say never give a sword to a man who can't dance. That's one of my favorite proverbs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could go on and on. I went to his website to find out, to find his bio, and the problem is they're all over the place. There's bios all over the place, and they're like awesome. They have all kinds of stuff. So I could spend the rest of there's a website called Channon Archive, and it's basically the
it's a composite of a lot of stuff that I wanted to leave for posterity while I'm still standing. It's not popular in this world to brag for some reason, and that's crazy. And then you get to a certain age, and all of a sudden they disappear one day, and the next day you see them in a hospital bed, and they got pipes in their face, and they can't talk. That's crap. I want to be alive and tell I'm dead. And I'm working on ways to explain to other people what kind of life I had. And this Channonarchive.com you may think I have an out of control ego. Well, between me and my ego, it is pretty out of control, and I want it that way because I use him as my crash dummy. Every time you reinvent yourself, you have to come up with another character, to use. And anyway, what I'm excited about is a chance for men's groups. I've been to 1,444 men's group meetings in my life, big ones and little ones, and in several different sectors. The old days, Iron John, and and whatnot through the MKP project. Really good stuff. And basically, I host a meeting every Wednesday night right here. You know, last couple of nights in the times of meetings, we guys have been in the shit. And in the group love, in what we call the container, gave them permission to wail. Wailing, I have to use that word because you're screaming, you're crying, you're trying to breathe, and behind all that, you're feeling a wonderful release. Like, oh, thank God that's happened. Now, I've said that twice. But I want to clarify that, because if you get on Google and try to Google things like release and whatnot, it's very technical. It doesn't get there. Warning just talks about having some black stuff around you when you die. You know, crap, it's not it. And I want to say that the creation of deep, you know, open and true is a step beyond all the other men's groups that I know about. Meaning you're just starting right at the heart, cracking it open, and going in from there. Fabulous. Fabulous.